Hello, this is the video for the 3D hexaflexagon. So I gave you guys a diagram of the 3D hexaflexagon, and this is printed out on just a laser paper. Normally, I would like for this to be on a cardstock. So if you can go do that, if you have cardstock that you can run through your computer, if you can do that, that would be great. So if you have that and you know you could do it, just real quick, go pause this and go print that out onto a stiffer sheet of paper. It's going to be helpful for you, especially when we're done and we're trying to operate this thing. But this will work, and most of us are probably going to need to just do it this way. So the first thing you want to do is, again, kind of like the hexaflexagon that we did, you're going to cut out this shape. And then you're going to score along these diagonal lines. So you can either cut out the shape and score, or you can go ahead and do your scoring and then cut out the shape. I think that's what I'm going to do because I kind of found it hard to do when it was that little strip of paper. So I'm going to go ahead and do this scoring. And you're going to score on every diagonal line. Okay, so even this little small one that you think, oh, I don't need to do it on that, you do. So I'm going to use my all to score, and I'm going to lay it down pretty flat and then just push around. This is the way I do it. I start on one corner and score down the whole sheet like this because it's just faster. And you're also going to score the horizontal lines, but I'll show you that in a second. So I'm just going to do these first. And because this is a text weight paper, you really don't have to push very hard for the scoring. This one I don't need because I'm going to cut that one. Okay, so I went this way and now I want to go this way. So I'll start at this end. Even this little one down here, you're going to score. You can use a ruler. I'm using my triangle because it's a little smaller. It's just a little faster, easier to move because it doesn't have the cork on it. But it's also slippery because of that, so be careful with that. Okay. And then I'm going to score the horizontal lines. So starting on one end, I'm just going to score like this. So this handout, I didn't create this. The website address that I got it from is on the sheet. This is how I learned it. I think I saw one of these and I thought, that's so neat. I want to make one. And so I found it online and followed these directions. These directions are actually very good. Okay, and so I'm done scoring. So now I'm going to cut out this shape. Here, I need my ruler now because it's not long enough. And I'm just going to cut out all around the edges. I'm not cutting there. I'm just cutting that little corner. Oops, kind of got off a little bit, but I know that's going to get tucked under, so I'm not worried about it. Just cutting all the way around. This is the hard part because it's not straight. You know, it's a little zigzag edge. And this last cut across the top. You can hold on to those directions if you're not following along later. Okay, so now we've scored everything already, and you could, if you hadn't scored, you could do it now. And this is a little bit easier because it's a bigger sheet or a bigger piece of paper. So now what you're going to do is you're going to fold along all of those score lines, even the ones across the horizontal. So you're just going to, these lines are going to stay on the outside to guide us. So these at the bottom, a score. So it's kind of like I'm making a little cylinder with this thing. That's the horizontals. And now I'm going to just fold at every diagonal. So I just start in one direction and go across the piece. So I'm gently folding it. It's not like I'm sharp, no bone folder here, just a gentle fold with a finger strength. That's all you need for this. But just make sure you stay straight. You know, that's what the scoring is for, is to make sure you stay on the line. And then I'm just opening it back up and then going to the next one. Okay, one direction, and now I need to come from this edge and down. Okay. Just gently fold along the diagonals. So now you've got this piece, and it's sort of wanting to do what we're getting ready to do with it, which is we're going to make like a long tube from this piece of paper, and it's like a little snake shape. And so before we do that, I think this is a good time. Everywhere that it says fold under, you can put a little piece of double stick tape, just everywhere it says fold under. So maybe take a second. I'll cut off little pieces to go on here. I could do one little long piece, but I kind of need them to be at an angle. So I'm gonna snip off some pieces. So, you know, this is our mock-up of all these structures. And so they don't have to be the neatest, perfect placement of adhesive. You know, we're just putting it on here to hold this thing together while we figure it out, while we learn it. I'm just putting it everywhere that it says fold under, not on these. This one might need another piece. I can't remember, but you know, we can probably get away with it just having one, but I'll put one there and one here, and one more little larger one, you know, just to hold it a little bit better. Okay, so I've put tape on all of the places that say fold under. And now the only thing about doing this is it sort of blocks off the directions. But if you look at this thing, it has a little system telling you how to put this together. So here you see in each of the corners of these triangles, there's a single solid dot. There's a double solid dot and a triple solid dot. And then right across from that, you'll see the two solid dots in each of those triangles. The single solid dot is under that tape, and then the triple is down here. So they're across from each other, and that's what we're going to do. We're actually start with the first one, the corners that have the single black dot. Go ahead and peel that tape where you put it on that side, because what you're going to do is you're going to bring this over and around, and this is what, when that other, like a stiffer paper is better. Those two triangles here are going to go under this triangle, or these two triangles. Those two full ones, the two short ones are going to go underneath. And you're just going to attach it right on that fold. So if you're paper, because it's soft, starts to curl. Don't let it do that. Try to keep it sharp. Yeah, see, mine's starting to do that. I want to keep it with the folds, not with the curve of a soft piece of paper. Keep the folds, if that makes sense. So I had to straighten that out a little bit. It was getting creased. So anywhere there's a fold, this is why like a stiffer paper helps, because then you don't get that kind of softness in there. But once you get the first one, the other two are going to be a lot easier. So that's the one with the single black dot. So those two smaller ones go underneath, you peel it and you push it, but you want that to stay straight. And then same thing here. So before you start, like kind of make sure those creases are creases and not curves. And then peel that tape. Now I'm at the section with the set of two black dots like that. And then I'm going to come across and I'm going to keep this crease sharp if I can. It's really wanting to curve and it's annoying. So if I make sure that things are flat on the other side, it'll do it. But I didn't realize that this was going to be this difficult to do with the soft paper. Let me back up because it's just creasing too much. Once you get a sharp fold in there, you can get it to lay down like that. So, you know, it's not perfect. Text weight paper in Florida, kind of hard. So the first one's done, the second one's done. Now I got to do this last one. Since there's nothing holding it underneath, it's open, it should be easier, but I thought that second one would be easier. It wasn't. Hopefully I'm right about this one. Yeah, this one's okay because it's one thing and it's open on one end. But again, you need to make sure it stays sharp here. The edges need to stay like a little diamond shape, like this. Okay, so that's really the bulk of the structure. It's put together now. And now what we've got to do is, if you see this, you can see it's kind of a snake shape. This is the tail, and this is the mouth at the top. Okay, and we're going to put this together. But first, what you want to do is down at the bottom, down at the tail end, there's two triangles. There's a big one and a small one. You want to peel the tape on that smaller one. And that's going to be closed now. So the one that says fold under, that's a larger triangle, is going to go on top of that smaller one like that. So now you've got this closed diamond at the tail, and that's going to be what we put the mouth of the snake around. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. So both sides of that have tape. It says fold under, and there's 3 open dots, and there's 2 open dots. And then if you see on this end, there's 2 open dots and 3 open dots here. So I'm going to peel the tape remaining on both ends, both sides of that triangle at the tail. And then I'm going to fold this thing around. It's making a little circle like this. But this mouth has got to go open up. And the 2 dots are going to go on the 2 dots, and the 3 dots are going to go on the 3 dots at the tail. So 3 and 3, 2 and 2. And that's going to close around like that and seal. And then the way this works is it's kind of like that other Hexaflexagon, but this one you actually do push it. You just roll this thing around. Just like that. And you can see why a stiffer piece of paper is going to be better, because this thing starts getting, you know, if your hands are sweaty or anything, if it gets any moisture in there, it starts to get too flexible and it bends too much. And so another thing you could do, I thought about doing this, but then I thought, no, because it's hard to follow the diagram. It's hard enough to do that without, is you could lay this on top of like attach it to a piece of like Canson paper. But I think that would be hard to do, especially the first time through. So I didn't demonstrate that. But that's what you could do, is take that diagram and lay it on top of a piece of Canson and do all your scoring just through the top sheet and onto your Canson, cut out the shape, and then you could do it on the piece of Canson. So if you decide to make this structure, I would definitely do that. Don't try to do it on a text weight, because, well, see, now that it's going, it's just like the other one. It's a little bit, well, see, but as soon as I said that, it starts to bend. Yeah. So if you want to make this one, you know, and I've seen people glue it together and then put rubber bands around it to dry, like before you do that closure part. So if you get to this one and you're making it, if you need help with it, I can help you with that. Okay. So this is the 3D hexaflexagon. Use the diagram and follow those directions. If this is not, although it's helpful to watch a video, I think, rather than just following the directions, but the directions are good too. This is the 3D hexaflexagon. All right, thanks.